Now, I know what you're thinking. Greg, we've already seen the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 on RC Driver's YouTube channel. What are you doing? Well, our buddy Mark down in Florida, he gave us an unboxing, but I'm going to go into this kit a little bit further. So here it is, the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 with the Ford GT body on it. Now, I do have to say this body is killer. I mean, Traxxas did an awesome job on the body. I think they really captured, all the look and detail that the real Ford GT has, even down to the flying buttresses here. I'm going to pop the body off. I actually have the body clips off. I mean, look at those tail lights, the exhaust. I mean, this body is just very cool. But what's also cool is the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 itself. Traxxas did a really good job just taking that identifiable Traxxas 4-Tec name and then creating a worthy successor to the original version. And this is completely new. They designed it from the ground up, and in talking with Traxxas, they really had a focus of just trying to create a vehicle that would suit everybody's need for an on-road car. They really focused on creating a car that would work for so many different on-road type of drivers, everywhere from a racer all the way down to someone just going out and having fun with their vehicle. Let's take a quick look at the car once again. Obviously, it's got this modular style chassis here. We've got a front plate. We've got the center section. We've got the rear section here. And the front bumper here, it's got kind of a ramped effect to it. So if you're out in a parking lot, just a beat up parking lot, this will help prevent the front from really getting beat up. It's got this little diffuser in the back here. And then up front, we've got a foam front bumper. We've got some nice oil-filled shocks with a very firm spring to it. So that should work really well in high-speed applications, keeping this thing planted to the ground. They did go with a fixed link here, both for the steering arm and the upper camber links all the way around. And that just makes it easier to keep everything tuned. If you want to go and really race this car later on down the road, you could swap out these links for alternate links to have that adjustability. But right out of the box, this makes everything really easy to have everything set up right. We've got a dual bell crank steering in here, and what's pretty neat is the servo saver is located on the servo, and it does have an adjustment nut on there, so you can adjust the tension. Over here we have the sealed receiver box. This is a waterproof system here. The speed controller is waterproof, so if you want to go out in that wet weather driving, you can do that. Then moving to the back here, we've got that 12-turn motor that Traxxas is pretty well known for. It comes with all their vehicles, has a lot of power too. We've got an ID plug on here. We've got the easy-to-access battery strap. You can flip it over for the different heights of different batteries that are out there. Moving on to the back, I can see we've got some steel dog bones in here. Same with the front. We've got those low-profile shock towers with an extra hole, so there is a little bit of tuning adjustment there. Inside, there's some brake discs, some brake calipers. Pretty neat looking, gives it that scale effect. And then we've got the wider tire in the rear than the front. Gives it some much-needed traction when you're pulling those high-speed runs. And then we have this unique body mounting system. It's a very low-profile body mount for this low-profile body. But what's pretty cool is over here in the accessory bag that they give you, there's instructions in here, by the way, for those of you looking at this for the first time. A lot of different little bags in here with just some different stuff in there. Definitely check that out. Drop something. Okay, that was the tool bag. So they give you a box wrench, some Allen wrenches, and then we've got extra body clips. We've got the high-speed pinion gear for those high-speed runs. We've got some shock clips. And then this is what I was looking for. These are the body mounts. So what's really unique about these are you could go and put just different bodies on this vehicle. You don't have to stick with the GT body. It does look cool. I would probably run that myself just for having fun. But if you want to go and take this thing racing, maybe you want to switch out the body. And that's when you would go and put these body mounts on, and they're fully adjustable. They adjust width-wise, and they move around so you could really adjust the body and get it set up for what you need. And then just a few additional features. It is equipped with TSM, and that's the Traxxas Stability Management. It just aids in keeping this thing drivable for those of you who are new to it and you're a little bit trigger happy. That'll help you keep this thing planted to the ground, just make it easier for you to drive. But this is a pretty neat chassis. I mean, this is $310 here. It's ready to run, and you could go out and instantly have some on-road fun. Now, the little twist that I'm going to throw in here with this particular video is is it's not just, you know, a car that you could go have fun with. This is actually a really well-designed car that could really handle well on some different types of racing surfaces. And what a lot of people are starting to do now is actually use this as a spec racer. And, you know, Traxxas contacted me when they sent this to me and said, hey, we just came out with a bunch of rules for 4-Tec 2.0 racing. Why don't you check it out and let everybody know what's going on with it? And maybe, you know, people would be interested in creating this type of class at a track near them. And now this is something you could do because of the style of this car and because of the design of this car. I mean, you could really do it anywhere. If you have, let's say you're a hobby shop out there and you have some extra space in a back parking lot or something like that. Maybe it's not the best asphalt surface, but it might work pretty well. You could go get a bunch of plastic pipes or some old 2x4s and stuff like that and create a really basic track and create an inexpensive racing class for your local racers. Maybe you're a racer yourself and you know a hobby shop that does have a spot that would be perfect for on-road racing. Maybe you could go and approach that hobby shop and say, hey, I like to get this going. It's inexpensive. It allows for some fun, cool, close racing. Maybe you could get that going yourself. So there is a lot of potential behind this chassis. It is a very cool chassis. I'm excited to go try it out. And actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go head up to RC Madness in Enfield, Connecticut, one of the premier locations in the Northeast for RC. They have an outdoor asphalt track, and they do have an indoor carpet track. So I'm going to head up there, try it out. Hopefully it's getting a little cool outside. Hopefully I'll be able to use the asphalt track outside, but I'll at least run this thing on the indoor track. And then I got to talk about spec racing just a little bit more. Let's head to the track. Sorry. Wow, once again, I had so much fun up at RC Madness. It's truly a great place to go and enjoy RC and race RC. And I had a great time with the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 there on the on-road course. As you can see, I'm a little bit rusty with touring car. It's been a long time since I've run touring car. And the reason why I kind of got out of touring car was it just got too crazy. You needed a new car like every week and new tires and this and that and the other thing. And it was just, it got to be too much. And this could change things. This could turn things around. A spec class, just like what Traxxas did back when the Slash came out. I mean, people glommed onto the Traxxas Slash, and everybody just got together and said, hey, this is going to be a spec class. We're going to swap out the radios if we need to. A couple of tracks allowed a few option parts for parts that commonly broke on it. And people just went out on the stock tires and the stock motor, and they had a lot of fun, and they tuned it a little bit. And it was really what it was all about, was just driving it and having a lot of fun. And I could see that totally happening here too. There's no reason why it can't happen, actually. With this, there's so many places that you could go and find, ask permission, and find a place to run. Get a bunch of buddies together, and you guys have your own racing event. It can happen, but like I said, maybe you can find a local hobby shop that has a parking lot out back. If you're a racer, approach a hobby shop to do it, or like I said, go out with a bunch of buddies and find a place. Make sure you get permission, find a place to do it. The rules are simple with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post a link in the description below over to the rcdriver.com website, and there I'll have a PDF of all the different rule sets for both a stock Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 with a brush motor, and then they have a VXL rule set as well, so I'll have that listed there. But what you could do, what they're suggesting in there, is you could take this Traxxas 4-Tec. This is the brush version. You could swap out the body on there. You could swap out the radio. And basically, you got to run it really close to stock. You could do little tweaks here and there, like oils and gearing and stuff like that. But you got to run it. And I could totally see this just being an absolute blast. I had so much fun on the track at RC Madness, just kind of sliding around and getting used to it. And I could totally see that this thing can get easily dialed in, and you could have a lot of fun with it and have some really close racing with it. I just threw it on the track there in front of the camera, no practice whatsoever. And as you can see, it got around the track pretty well. And then we went to the outdoor track, which was gone, but we did rip it back and forth on the asphalt, and then I wound up hitting Dean at the end. Oops, sorry, Dean. And, you could see that type of area. You don't need a huge area. Again, what Traxxas is saying, basically find what's available to you. Some pipes, some old lumber. I've even heard of guys going over to the firehouse, local firehouses, and asking if they have any hoses that are going to be thrown away soon, and the people make a donation, and they use that fire hose as track lanes and stuff. So there's a lot of creative ways to do so you guys could go have fun racing. And I think this type of vehicle could help bring a lot of fun back into the touring car segment. Not saying that high-end competition touring car isn't a lot of fun, but spec racing is just so cool. That close racing, and at the end of the race, you're there with your buddies just having a good time, and you have a lot of stories to tell. All right, I hope that gives you guys something to think about. Definitely check out the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 if you're even thinking about racing on-road cars or just having fun. It's a great car for that too. Hope you guys enjoyed this little feature on the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0. If you haven't done so yet, please click that subscribe, throw the video a like, and of course, head over to rcdriver.com to see that information.